嗨，大家，今天是礼拜六的早上，那我们今天决定来探险新的步道。
All right, today is May 13th, 2023, and we're at Shawnee State Forest, and we're going to take a hike on Hike L, and we're at the Turkey Creek Lake. All right, come along.
Yeah.
And this is our location. We're at location L, and we find L here, and it is a 0.8 trail, and that is what we're going to be doing, and it is called the Lake Trail. And this is the Turkey Creek Lake, and they have a sign here that says Turkey Creek Launch Ramp, parking prohibited beside ramp. And they allow 5 trout per person per day. And this is a good view of the Turkey Creek Lake. And they do have boat rentals at the camp store. And we're going to sit at the bench and take a good look at the lake. And today is a hazy day, but the lake is still beautiful. And getting out in nature is the best. Hello, Jenny. And we are going to begin our hike on the Lake Trail. And there are kayakers. And as you may see, this is aqua blue, and it's a little smaller, and this is a dark blue,
dark blue.
A very dark blue, and I am a little colorblind. However, this is the one we're actually doing. It is 0.8, and this one is 5
miles.
5 miles. And they have placed this on a tree, and it lets you know what direction you're going and what trail you're about to go on.
That's pretty neat.
And it is pretty neat. So let's begin. And along the way, they do have these little markings on the trees. And on the pathway you can see the lake, and the trail winds around the lake. And this is the first time we have been on this trail. And those are the kayakers out on the lake. And once again, if you're out on the trail, you definitely want to wear a hat, which I am not doing today, but Jenny is, because you do run into nature. And once again, on the trail, you want to watch your footing. These are some of the biggest roots I've ever seen on a trail, and they could be somewhat hazardous if you're not paying attention.
Tofu.
Tofu. All right. And they have a little bridge here, and they have your markings on the tree. And this one you do not feel too remote, simply because the road goes up that direction. You can hear cars and trucks passing by. And this is a beautiful view of the Turkey Creek Lake. What I like about nature, just this little tree right here. Everything together makes a beautiful scenery.
Another square rock.
Another square rock. Jenny likes square rocks. She thinks it reminds her of tofu, which I do not like tofu. She loves tofu. I like texture, and there's not much texture there in tofu. And on this path they have a lot of big rocks that fell from the hillside and decided to settle right along the pathway.
So cool. This is real neat.
And as we're walking, we found a huge rock, and then there's a small rock on top of it, which actually looks like Ohio. The state of Ohio, perfectly in nature. And we notice along the pathway the flowers are very small, dainty, and very beautiful.
It's spring after all.
It is spring after all.
Look over this side.
And there are more.
Yeah, different time.
And as you're walking on any trail, you want to be very careful on rocks if you have to cross, because they become very slippery and you can fall quite easy. And once you start falling,
I got mushrooms.
good chance you're going to go to the ground.
Yeah.
And we do have a mushroom. And as you come to the 0.8 ending of the trail, it has an opening here, and it is leading you right up to the Turkey Creek Lake. And the open field is flooded with some water, so you have to be careful not to get your feet soaked. But the path does lead right up to the lake. And all the way over that direction is where we began. And we walked all the way through the woods in this section here alongside the lake. And we end up in this open field. And they have cut a piece or a section here so you can walk comfortably along the lake. And it is an overgrown field, but someone's had to take the time to cut the grass down.
Isn't that nice?
And it's very nice.
Yeah, sure.
And the trail is 0.8 miles, and it brings you out in this open view, and it is beautiful, and it is worth it. Most certainly worth it. And along the way back on the trail, we've noticed there's a bench over here, and we're going to go ahead and go sit on the bench and take a look at the lake.
Oh.
And the bench, and then you have the lake. And it may be a little difficult to see, but those are the two kayakers, and they are really, really far away across the lake. And Jenny's been struggling with her hat
No, it's not true.
for 15 minutes.
Ah. Go away.
So, Su Chen Ying, what do you like about hiking?
I like being in nature.
Being in nature,
I like using my feet.
using your feet. Okay, what else?
I like feeling strong.
Feeling strong?
Ah,
All right.
I don't want this answer.
You don't want that answer.
Cancel it.
Cancel the answer.
Yeah.
I wish I could have done that in college. And we have a tree that has fallen into the lake. And I must say this trail has been very peaceful, and this is a good view of the trees with all the leaves, and definitely worth the time coming out. And we are headed back over the little bridge, back to where we started. And they have a dam here, and we're going to get a little closer look at the water flowing. And I must say the sound of the water is very soothing, very peaceful. And they do have some steps here that we're going to climb up and get up to the top a little bit. And as you make your way to the top, we should be able to see the lake coming into view. And once you're on top of the hill, that's your water flowing down. And we have a couple of buoys hanging out that let you know that there's danger ahead, because you can boat and kayak in the actual lake. And the lake trail begins here and goes all the way down this way alongside the lake. And all the way down there, there is an opening. And we're headed back down.
Go sideways, helping your knees. 嗨，大家，这就是我们今天发掘的新步道，希望你也会喜欢。
All right, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. And if you did, please subscribe, leave comments, ring the bell, whatever you like to do there. And most of all, thank you so much for watching.
Thank you for
watching.
watching.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.